Carrie Underwood is going to be performing America the Beautiful at Donald Trump's inauguration on Monday, now just 5 days away. And, of course, the liberal lunatics are very upset about that because, well, the inauguration marks the return of Donald Trump, and it's going to be official. And they couldn't scare all of the A-list celebrities away from having anything to do with him. Most affected are the old bags on The View, which, by the way, again, is the most viewed daytime television talk show in America. That's how far down the toilet this country has gone.
I would not normalize him. And she says, I love our country. How do you love your country and support and normalize somebody who was a convicted felon who really wants to destroy the country, in my opinion? I don't understand how you say you love your country at the same time as you normalize this convicted felon, which I can say now every day.
Call him a convicted felon every day if that's what makes you happy. But you know what else you're going to have to call him as of next week? The President of the United States. As expected, the twits on TikTok are also very upset about it and are trying to cancel Carrie.
Hey, real quick, just in case anybody was wondering, if you have Spotify, you can go to Spotify and you can click the 3 dots by the artist's name and you can block that artist from ever being played on your Spotify again. For no particular reason.
Because you're a lunatic, that's the reason.
By the way, her agents at CAA have refused to comment on the news that one of their star clients will be performing at a convicted felon's inauguration, which speaks for itself.
Actually, many of the clients that CAA represents, they're the big talent agency in Hollywood. Many of their clients are actually felons. Big Mike, Barack Obama's partner, will be skipping the inauguration in protest, but President Obama, Bill Clinton, and George W. Bush will be there. Yesterday, as I'm sure you heard, was the confirmation hearing for Pete Hegseth, who Donald Trump appointed to be the next Secretary of Defense, and it looks like he will most likely get the votes and be confirmed. And the hearing was largely a circus, but some basic questions had to be asked of Mr. Hegseth just to make sure that he didn't have the liberal pathogen.
How many genders are there? Tough one.
Senator, there are 2 genders.
Correct, sir. If you can't answer that basic question, I don't think that anybody should really be allowed to have a job anywhere. The feminist Democrat women were completely unbearable. This is just a small sample of what poor Pete had to endure.
Are you willing to support our veterans organizations that will help our veterans get every damn thing that they deserve because they signed on the...
Everything you've said in these public statements is politics. I don't want women. I don't want moms. What's wrong with a mom, by the way? Once you have babies, you therefore are no longer able to be lethal. I mean, you're basically saying women, after they have children, can't ever serve in the military in a combat role. It's a silly thing to say.
You can't handle the truth. Son, we live in a world that has walls, and those walls have to be guarded by men with guns. Who's going to do it? You?
They were very upset with him because of some of his past comments about women in the military like this.
I'm straight up just saying we should not have women in combat roles. It hasn't made us more effective, hasn't made us more lethal, has made fighting more complicated. We've all served with women, and they're great. It just, our institutions don't have to incentivize that in places where traditionally, not traditionally, over human history, men in those positions are more capable.
Yes, and maybe it was a mistake to allow women to serve in Congress. Here's a little dust up between ratchet Congresswoman Democrat Jasmine Crockett and Republican Nancy Mace when they were debating over a bill that did get passed that would ban transgender supposed girls from participating in girls' sports in schools. And so the Senate still has to pass this. Donald Trump would have to sign it into law. But this is at least a good sign that maybe we can return to some semblance of normalcy in America. But then again, we have women in Congress acting like this.
Somebody's campaign coffers really are struggling right now. So she gonna keep saying trans, trans, trans so that people will feel threatened. And child, listen, I want y'all to tell me whether or not.
Do not call me a child. I am no child.
I want
Don't
to
even
find
start.
out
I am a grown
which
woman.
of those
I am 47 years
emails
old. I have broken
actually
more
have
glass ceilings than you
Chairman,
ever
I
will.
am reclaiming my
Let's go.
time.
You will not do that. I
Order.
am not a child.
I am reclaiming my time.
If you want to take it outside,
Mr. Chairman, the committee is not
Okay.
in order.
Order.
Point of order.
That was Nancy Mace challenging Jasmine Crockett to a fight. But wait, there's more. Here's Pocahontas Elizabeth Warren humiliating herself at the confirmation hearing yesterday.
In other words, you're quite sure that every general who serves should not go directly into the defense industry for 10 years. You're not willing to make that same pledge?
I'm not a general, Senator.
You'll be the one.
I may do a separate video dedicated to Facebook's change in their terms of service. We all heard that they're not going to supposedly fact check anymore. They're changing to the community note feature, and they loosened the rules about what you're allowed to say about one particular topic. It looks like only transgender people. And then they did take the tampons out of the men's bathrooms at the Facebook headquarters, but that's pretty much the only change to the terms of service. But that hasn't stopped the liberal lunatics from being upset about the fact suppressing is going to ease up a little bit. This from the Clown News Network. Soon to be out of a job, Meta's fact checkers battle a blaze of wildfire conspiracy theories. I'm sorry, but as usual, the conspiracy theories are coming from the mainstream media and their Operation Mockingbird assets and their appointed clowns in order to keep the dumbed-down public pacified, like Jimmy Kimmel.
The fact that they chose to attack our firefighters, who apparently aren't white enough to be out there risking their lives on our behalf, it's disgusting, but it's not surprising.
What's disgusting and not surprising is that for decades now, the Los Angeles Fire Department and departments across the country have been turning down able-bodied white men in exchange for diversity hires like this.
You want to see somebody that responds to your house, your emergency, whether it's a medical call or a fire call, that looks like you. It gives that person a little bit more ease, knowing that somebody might understand their situation better.
What does anybody's race have to do with them needing a team of firefighters to come and put out a fire? Actually, now that I think about it, it actually does have something to do with it, but not in the way that she thinks. I'm sure you're all familiar, the regular viewers, about the mysterious smoke detector beeps that are often seen in videos of black people. Like most stereotypes, there is a gigantic core of truth to this one, but you're not really supposed to talk about it because that would definitely be deemed racist. Maybe Jimmy Kimmel and Adam Carolla aren't friends anymore. They used to famously co-host The Man Show back when Jimmy Kimmel actually was a man, but then he came down with the liberal pathogen while Adam Carolla was thankfully immune. And here he is testifying in front of Congress, this is a few years ago, about his experience when he tried to become a firefighter in LA.
Geez, I want to talk about my white privilege so badly. I could not find a job. I walked to a fire station in North Hollywood. I was 19. I was living in the garage of my family home. My mom was on welfare and food stamps, and I said, can I get a job as a fireman? And they said, no, because you're not black, Hispanic, or a woman. We'll see you in about 7 years. And I went to a construction site and dug ditches and picked up garbage for the next 7 years. I got a letter in the mail sent to my father's house saying, your time has come to do the written exam for the LA Fire Department. I took it, and I was standing in line, and I had a young woman of color standing behind me in line, and I said, just out of curiosity, when did you sign up to become a fireman? Because I did it, or a person, 7 years ago, and she said, Wednesday. That is an example of my white privilege.
The cultural Marxists are obviously upset that there are just too many white people everywhere. There are too many white doctors, according to CNN. Too many white airline pilots, according to the New York Times. Too many white people in professional cycling. Too many white people in hockey. Too many white people playing baseball. I mean, what's next? Are they going to complain that there are too many white people who own shoe stores? Oh, wait, what's this? Sneakers generated $70 billion last year. Black retailers saw little of that. Black culture and influence made athleisure a phenomenon, but only a handful of black retail owners are benefiting from the trend. While I don't sell shoes, I do have a great online t-shirt store at markdice.com, which also has all of my designs now available in women's cuts as well. T-shirts, long sleeve, hoodies, and drinkware. If you go to the website and click the drinkware tab up on the top, you can see that everything, just about everything, is available in mugs and some pint glasses as well. So head on over to markdice.com or click the link in the description below and check it out.